Am I breathing heavy? Yeah. All the white girls are in their hoodies drinking pumpkin spice. I have a lot of trouble picking up the phone and calling somebody. It's not that I have like incredible muscle enzymes. I love to feel damp if I'm ever getting attacked by a bear. I use the word sucky, but I think you know the words I really wanted to use there. I do not have a Mac Daddy cane. You have the right size ice pack. I'm probably talking too fast. It's possible that I could just be imagining that I remembered it. Is up right next. Right next? Next now? That whole explanation, completely backstory.
Hard Rock Lunchbox.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. Members of the Hard Rock Lunchbox, of course, viewers are the top 20. How's everybody doing today? It is a simply crisp and beautiful August 22nd, 2024. It is just stunningly beautiful here in the Northeast. This is late September, early October weather at best. So I'm sure all the white girls are in their hoodies drinking pumpkin spice, whatever it is they do. And just enjoying the fall season before summer comes back, I would imagine, probably by the weekend. It is absolutely beautiful. It's actually, it's so beautiful, and it coincides with something so stupid that I've done that it was sort of funny. So one of the things I do, we'll get to housekeeping in a second. So one of the things I do is I walk to my chiropractor appointment. I have a weekly chiropractor appointment. I used to go to the backstory is I've gone on regular maintenance to the chiropractor since I was 20-something, 28, whatever, for years. I herniated a disc in my lower back, and that was the very first time I went to a chiropractor because I went to the doctor, and they're like, you need to go to a chiropractor. Because all the doctor was going to do is give me muscle relaxant. And as much medicines and supplements and stuff like that I do, like, I'm really anti taking a whole lot of medicines. Like, or pharmaceuticals. You know, there's a whole lot of stuff to that. But, like, not a huge fan. I've never been a huge fan of it. So I was like, okay, well, I feel like if the problem is a chiropractic issue, I'll go. So I went to chiropractor. It turns out I had a herniated disc, and I've been going to the chiropractor ever since. What I did during COVID was probably one of the dumbest things I've ever done, is I stopped going. There was a time there where nobody was going, and that was fine. But once they kind of introduced that back out, the problem I had, and this is why it's so stupid on my part, because I used to just sort of roll into the I had been going to the chiropractor so long, I had actually inherited the current chiropractor, Dr. Jen, who I was going to. She was like my 1, 2, 3, 4. She was my 5th chiropractor without me actually ever changing chiropractors. And the reason that is because Dr. Esther, who was my first chiropractor, she sold the practice to sold her practice to Dr. Neal. Dr. Neal then merged with Precision Chiropractic, who was Dr. Goodmark, Dr. something. I can't remember. It's so not important. But merged with them, so I went over to there when that was, and then Dr. Neal left to go hawk supplements on a radio show. And then I got Dr. Goodmark, then he got sick, then I got and I cannot remember his name for some reason. And then Dr. Jen bought the practice from them, and then I was with Dr. Jen, and then COVID hit. But I was just so I was so spoiled, because I would make an appointment, and everybody kind of knew, like, I would just roll in when I could get there. It was like, I would go like 10 a.m., I feel like I would go like on Thursdays. And that was just kind of it. But it could be 9:30, it could be like 10:30 or whatever. It sort of depended on like when I woke up, what work was looking like, and all that other stuff. And then when COVID hit and they restarted their appointments, they were like, you have to be here at a specific time. And I was like, I can't really do that. Because I would call in and I would say, like, I'll be in at around 10. And they're like, you can't do that. And I was like, okay, well, then I guess I'll let you know when I can come in. And so I have this one particular psychiatric and psychological problem. I have a lot of trouble picking up a phone, calling somebody, and making, like, an appointment. I have a lot of trouble picking up the phone and calling somebody anyway. Like, anybody that knows me knows how very little I am on the phone. I can do it sometimes in a work capacity, but I have a whole lot of anxiety about it. I have no idea what this is. I grew up as somebody that used to be on the phone all the time. I have no idea where this came from. Like, literally, like, when I start, digging deep into what's wrong with me psychologically, like, I feel like there'll be at least a week dedicated to that, because I don't know why that is. But so I really couldn't do it. Like, I had a standing appointment, roughly, this is when I'd be in, and then I didn't have that anymore. And once I don't have an appointment, I just don't really go, because I get so busy and things fill up that space. So I spent basically 2020 to 2023 not going to the chiropractor, and then I really screwed up, and I had a problem with my left trapezius muscle, and it basically just spasmed out so bad and knotted out so bad that it clamped down on my neck vertebrae, my cervical vertebrae there, and like my muscle, like, not that I'm so strong, like, it's not that I have like incredible muscle enzymes and something, but it's one of the largest muscles in your body, certainly the largest muscle in your upper back, and it is so strong that when it spasmed and knotted out like that, it compressed my cervical vertebrae to the point where it herniated 2 of my discs in my neck. That's what my muscle did. No accident, no nothing. It just spasmed and did to my cervical vertebrae. So now I get to go every week. I have what I'm hoping is not permanent nerve damage. I've talked about the pain in my finger. I have pain, burning, and numbness in my index finger at all times. And, sometimes it spreads out to the rest of my hand. It makes playing guitar incredibly difficult. It makes almost painful. It makes typing, all the typos. You ever see me type in the chat? I was never awesome with that before, but like now it's really bad because I can't feel, I have no dexterity in one of my typing fingers. So it's like my main, like even if I was going to hunt and peck, it's that one. So I don't have that. So anyway, that whole explanation, completely backstory for the fact that I walk up to the chiropractor every week. And I like it because it's about a 20-minute walk, 21 minutes, depending on my pace. I go there, I get, worked on or whatever, and then I walk back. It's a great, 40-minute walk to my day. So my appointment this week was Wednesday. That's yesterday. If you're in the Northeast, you'll know how absolutely beautiful it was yesterday morning. It was probably, arguably, the greatest day of the year, weather-wise. And my chiropractor and their staff know that I walk up there. And I couldn't walk up there yesterday because on Monday, I like to also walk to the gym. The gym, for me, is about 24 minutes away. I think I told you. If I decide to jog there, not the whole way, because and honestly, at my weight and age, like me doing a full-on jog is not a good idea. So I decided to, what I do is there's 2 neighborhoods I have to go through. I have to go through my neighborhood, then I have to cross Old Country Road. If you know where White Post Farm is, that's where I'm over. I cross over Old Country Road by there, and then I dip into the neighborhood just to the south of that on the east side of Route 110. And then what I do is I jog the north and south streets, and then I walk the east and west streets. Super simple, right? Like, I'm never jogging more than 60 seconds. And honestly, it's fun for me. I enjoy doing it. It gives me some sort of gamification. It gives me some sort of effort. I'm one of those people that, like, as much as I don't like to be sweating when I'm just sitting here talking to you, because I hate that, when I'm working, I love to be sweating. I love to feel damp and moist. Like, it feels like when you get out of a workout and you just feel damp from it, like, I feel like you've accomplished something, and I've internalized that over the years, and so I feel like if I'm not sweating doing a workout, I'm not really working out. So I like that, and I like pushing my body to do something that, in my opinion, it really should be able to do. Fully understand that maybe my joints and ligaments aren't exactly up to speed because I've been so fat for so many years, and so not doing that for so many years that maybe, it could be over for me, honestly. Like, maybe I'll never do that. But I also am aware that if I'm going to be doing, like, marathons and stuff like that, it's a long road for me to do that. But that's another story and another show. So I do these less than 60-second jogs. I take, roughly 30 to 60 seconds of a walk in between. I don't have a problem cardiovascularly anymore. I don't have breath issues. Like, yeah, am I breathing heavy? Yeah. But, like, am I panting and, like, about to pass out? No, I'm past that point. I've done all the work to get there, and I feel really good about that. Like, it's really good to actually have some sort of measurable metric to be like, cool, I'm not ready to pass out if I jog for 30 seconds. I love that. It helps me with soccer, helps me with life. If I'm ever getting attacked by a bear, like, I don't need to be the fastest one in the room. I just need to be the fastest one of the humans that the bear is chasing. So I do that And as I get to the gym, I'm jogging my last stretch. I turn the corner and I'm jogging, and I just sort of step off the curb. Now, I don't think I stepped wrong, and I don't think I did anything. I think I just maxed out the point at which I was going to be jogging that day in this life. And I felt that feeling. If anybody's ever, like, pulled a muscle or something, like, there's that... The only way I can really describe it is it feels like if you have a Band-Aid, right, and the one half of the Band-Aid, like, disengages and it, like, flaps against your skin, it felt like that. And as soon as I stepped, I felt that. And I was like, oh, I'm going to stop. And the reason I said to myself, I'm going to stop, is because I just got through telling all you people that when I hurt my shoulder next time, don't think it's just sore and I'm going to push through, because now I'm still dealing with the remnants of a dislocated shoulder, which is so sucky. I'll use the word sucky, but I think you know the words I really wanted to use there. So that just so sucks. And I am so down on myself for that one, because the shoulder thing, so stupid, so preventable, so stupid, much like the trapezius. Like, all these things I'm getting into are just so stupid and so preventable, and I'm really just disgusted with myself that I've even let that happen. So, like, I was not going to let that happen this time. So I stopped jogging, but, like, I slowed down. I didn't just, like, jam on the brakes, because I don't have brakes. So I just, like, kind of slowed to a pace, much like you would do, like, an ultimate. Like, if I caught a disc in ultimate, you get those 3 steps. That's what this was. And then by the 3rd step, it was like, now I didn't hear a pop, but I felt it. And that sucked, because now at this point, I'm as far from my house as I can possibly be, and yet I still have to walk back. Also, I haven't worked out yet, so. And it was leg day, which... So, it's a pull, is technically what it is. I pulled my right calf muscle, and I can tell that it has some issues with the tendon. And the way, which is very interesting, I found this out. The way you can tell, I'm doing it now like you can see it. The way you can tell if the tendon is involved, right? So your muscles, so ligaments, I also learned this week in my advanced old age. So this is your health minute with DJ and the Hard Rock Lunchbox. So ligaments are the pieces of you that hold bones together, right? Like ACLs and MCLs, like they hold the 2 bones of your leg together. You're like kind of around your knee. Tendons hold your muscles to your bone, right? So the way you can tell if your tendon is involved in something like this is you find where your muscle kind of hits the bone. You can kind of feel it. It, like, picture like an on-ramp or an off-ramp to your bone, right? The muscle kind of slows down, and then that's where it attaches, right? So if you can press against that, where the tendon visually would be, and your muscle no longer hurts, then you've hurt your tendon. So isn't that fun? Come on, everybody right now. Grab, like, where your tendons are, like there. Here's a tendon if you hurt your bicep, and you can do that. There's one... Oh, Jesus, I just hurt my shoulder again. There's one under here that you can hold that disengages one of the shoulder muscles. I think it's this one, which is great. So it basically just disengages, so it's not pulling on the tendon. Basically, you're holding the tendon in place so it can't pull, so it can't hurt. So that was fun. So I technically pulled my calf muscle, and I strained the tendon. There's no tear, there's no nothing like that. But that's what I did. So I now have a limp, much like a pirate, with a peg leg. I do not have a peg leg. I do not have a Mac Daddy cane, which I also considered getting, because at this point, like, I have so many like apparati to protect against. Like, it's really messed up when you're like, you hurt yourself and you have the right size ice pack already. Like, come on, what are we even doing here? Like, why even still be alive? Like, at that point, like, if you anyway. So yeah. So I have a limp, and I have to really be careful, because I can absolutely injure an injured muscle and an injured tendon, mainly because I'm an idiot, but also because I'm human, and that's how it works. So I did that on Monday. I took Tuesday off. I was hoping against hope that Wednesday I'd be fine. I was not. So I could not walk to the chiropractor. As soon as I walked into the chiropractor, the woman behind the counter, she's like, "Oh, it's beautiful out today. Did you walk here?" And I was like, "Mother effer." And then I completely unloaded my entire story on her. And she was very nice enough to listen, but obviously, it's not her problem. And chiropractors don't care about ligaments and stuff. Well, that's not true. That's not true or fair. But they don't care about my calf muscles, which is totally manageable. So that was my story. So I did not get to walk yesterday. I'm not going to be able to walk today. It hurts so bad this morning. And the reason it hurts so bad this morning is because Hurricanes practice started up yesterday. So we had practice. We're going to only have like 2 practices before the fall season starts. It was last night. It's probably going to be in about 2 weeks too. And the reason we don't practice in the fall is because almost all of them are in varsity. I mean, really the only ones, varsity soccer. The only ones that really don't play varsity soccer are Haley, who is my youngest. She's a track star. And Charlotte, who is mine, who plays Ultimate. And she's graduated anyway, so she couldn't play varsity. And she wasn't allowed to play varsity Whitman when she was still in high school anyway, because Whitman sucks a bag of dicks. We don't practice because they practice 6 days a week or play. They practice or play 6 days a week for varsity ball. That goes until Halloween. So I just don't have them practice. But I have 6 new players coming onto the team to replace the 8 I lost. So I kind of wanted to, A, meet them, and B, have them kind of meet the team. And I only had 3 of them show up, but that was okay. One of them sick, one of them away, one of them didn't check their email. So that's what I'm kind of looking at for the fall. But I didn't do anything other than chase down a couple of balls, but my phrasing. But my leg is so damn sore just from doing that, proving that I am definitely in no position to be running, probably not in any position to be walking, which absolutely sucks. It sucks so much because it's really all I want to do when the weather's this beautiful anyway. But it's also my number one form of anxiety control because that helps me burn off some of the anxiety I'm dealing with. When I tell you I have been having a mild anxiety attack since about 10 this morning, like I am underselling it quite a bit. I have all of those symptoms. I have the palpitations. My chest is all fluttery. My mouth is super dry. My brain is going a million miles a second. I'm probably talking too fast, which is probably a good thing since I'll probably be able to get out of the top 20 within top 20 kind of minutes. But like, it has just been so full on because I am not able to expel this extra jittery energy. And what's really great is I came here to tell you about what's going on at work and why so many of those things are causing the anxiety I'm under. Like, and you'd be like, "Oh my God, no wonder. I'm surprised you're not in the hospital with a panic attack." But I'm not going to have time to do that because I still have to get to some light housekeeping, and then we got to get on with the rest of the show. So, the new top 20 is out today. It's called it's called F minus minus minus, and the reason that is because I completely screwed up the beginning of the show. I have to record on this laptop right here, and I think what happened is I double-clicked. Any fans of Modern Family, I probably did one of Jay's double tap like that, and that's probably what happened because I can't seem to make it happen anymore. So what I do is I start the recording, I click to start the recording, and then I move the cursor away. It's technically called a sprite, but I move the cursor away so I can't even accidentally do it. Now I'm super fixated on watching the recording button to make sure it is indeed recording, and it is, so that's good. But my favorite part actually of the entire episode that's out this week is my apology in the beginning where I refer to myself as a Wish.com radio show host, and I defy you to find a better way to describe me these days. But yeah, I talk about the vocals for the new Revel 9 stuff, wealth of experience, trauma bonding, hitting the button, and all that other stuff. So, yeah, I mean, there's the apology is funny as far as I'm concerned, and I do get about 8 minutes of show in there. So if you want to check that out, feel free to do so. Skylar Accord is the guest on Bacon is My Podcast. I don't know what they're doing this week. I know that Mike and Jimmy, I believe, are away. So at a podcast convention, which sounds nerdier than it probably is, but I'll ask them what it's all about when I see them eventually or talk to them eventually and all that other stuff. So I guess that's probably a good place to end the top 20. A lot going on in politics. I wanted to talk a little bit about Project 2025. I want to talk a little bit about John Oliver and how great his show is, because if you're not watching Last Week Tonight, like, you're really missing out. It's really a stupendous show. It always was, but it's really hitting something special this season, so I recommend that. Also, I want to thank everybody this week that hit me up and hooked me up with some brand new local music. I put out the call for that. And I continue that call. If there's brand new local music and local bands you think I should be checking out just because I'm a fan, or because of the show, or because I need bands to play with when we play shows later this year, like, absolutely send them my way, because that's half the way I find some of these things. So I super appreciate that. So I've got a bunch more new local music this week, and that we're going to be playing inside of our local music block at the top of the Hard Rock Lunchbox, which is coming up in a moment. So thank you for that. Please keep doing that. Super appreciate all of that. And we're going to actually start off with a band called Playing Dead, which the only reason I know who these guys are is because my producer, David Caggiano, is also their producer. I think I heard the name because he told me where I would have heard it, and it did sound kind of familiar, but, like, honestly, the memory these days, not great. So it's possible that I could just be imagining that I remembered it, but, like, doesn't really matter. So he told me to check them out because he was working on their new stuff. I did. They have 2 brand new songs out. One I kind of like, one I really like. The one I really like is up right next. And that's how right next? It's up right now. It's next right now. Right next? Next now? It's up next now. And it's going to start off the box. It's Playing Dead. You can't say no.
Today,